Hi, I'm Kelly Horton. I'm the Chief Program Officer of the Food Research and Action Center. And I'm thrilled today to announce that we've recently named Salaam Bhatti as our SNAP Program Director. And in this position, Salaam is going to wield his expertise from his past experience as Virginia Poverty Law Center's Deputy Director to educate the public on the importance of SNAP. And you're going to help us lead the way to encourage lawmakers to pass a really strong farm bill that protects and strengthens the program for equitable access for everyone. So welcome, and thank you for joining our team.
I'm happy to be here.
Great. So can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved in advocating for SNAP, about your previous experiences that led you here?
Yeah, so I used to be the public benefits attorney at the Virginia Poverty Law Center. My portfolio was SNAP, TANF, and school meals. It was like a one-person army working with a lot of coalitions, a lot of private public partnerships to move the needle on these issues. And the coolest thing was getting to work with them and passing broad-based categorical eligibility, which for years was not moving in Virginia. But once we had all these different types of different interests involved, then lawmakers got to understand, oh yeah, this is a big deal. Like we need to do this, and we were able to get it passed unanimously. So a lot of work went in on the back end to make that unanimous vote happen, and it was really cool to be a part of that.
That's awesome. That's great.
And also
Congratulations on that too.
And it was because of people at FRAC and the network at FRAC, and just being able to beg, borrow, and steal ideas from what other states had done, using their talking points, using their fact sheets, to just make your own little Frankenstein and put it forward. And it was just a great support system that FRAC was managing. Because of that, we were able to move the needle there, have a total repeal on the drug felony ban. So it's really cool stuff that's happening in one state or Commonwealth because of other neighboring states or neighbors across the country.
That's really great. And I know many in our network are also looking forward to having those lessons learned from you because there's not categorical based eligibility in all states. And we're still dealing with those drug felony bans in some states as well. Yeah. Are there any lessons learned from your experience that you're bringing to the role?
Yeah, so I had the great opportunity, I guess you could say, of being able to work in a state that was sometimes blue, sometimes red, sometimes purple. So lots of different experience on how to position an issue with different lawmakers and to help them come on board, or just at least have a discussion. So there's that component I'm really excited to talk to our different network members about. And also just really want to, like, for example, you mentioned the drug felony ban. If there's a way we can push it through in the Farm Bill and not have to worry about it statewide, let's do it. And it seems like we're going to be able to do that, hopefully, fingers crossed, this year.
If we can have a farm bill.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about FRAC's SNAP goals in protecting and strengthening. You mentioned the drug felon, but what about benefit adequacy and equitable access?
Yeah, so one of the priorities for FRAC has always been to move up from the thrifty food plan to the low-cost food plan. And while, that's always been the goal, that will always be the goal, this year we're really facing some eyes looking at cutting the thrifty food plan and rolling back on the increases or the updates that the plan has gone through in the past update. So we really want to just protect that because that's huge.
And aren't we just talking about a couple dollars?
It was a modest boost. It was $1.19 per person per day. So it's a step in the right direction, but still nowhere near enough considering the inflation in a grocery store has been way more than what that benefit is able to provide. So definitely want to strengthen it, protect it. And if we can strengthen it by going to the low-cost food plan, that'd be prime. We also want to, like you said, fully repeal the drug felony ban and also pass this measure to use your SNAP benefits on hot foods.
Yeah. And
one of the key things that people reference when talking about this is you can't buy a rotisserie chicken with your SNAP card. But once this bill passes, then you could. And it's really important because if you were to roast your own chicken at home, it takes a lot of time in prep, a lot of time in baking it, and then, that's time, time is money.
And that's assuming someone has a fully working kitchen and all the supplies to do that. And we know it's possible because during a disaster situation, we actually can waive that requirement and people can purchase those foods.
Yeah, so it takes hours to prep that chicken at home. But with a rotisserie chicken, it's much cheaper in terms of time and just, being able to buy it and eat it right away. So we really want to make sure that our low-income neighbors are able to get the best bang for their buck.
That's great. That's great. Can you talk a little bit about also what we're doing around college students and college hunger?
Yeah, so during the public health emergency, the restrictions around eligibility for college students were loosened, if not completely let go, where, students no longer had to work 20 hours a week or go for the interview. And so what we saw were college students who were able to focus on their hunger for school rather than their hunger in their bellies, because now they have the SNAP benefits. So we've heard from college students that this was a huge impact for them, a positive impact. Now, what we're trying to do is pass a bill known as the EATS Act, which will help bring these loosened restrictions back on a permanent basis, not just on an emergency basis.
Oh, that's fantastic. Great. Okay, so lastly, can you tell people how to get involved in FRAC advocacy and how they can help pass the farm bill for us?
Yeah,
The strong farm bill.
Strong Farm Bill is the best way to go. I invite people to go to FRAC.org and just scroll down a little bit and you'll see a little thing that says Road to the Farm Bill. Click on that and there's so much to do. There's so much work that needs to be done and we need all hands on deck for. So look at how to contact your Congress member. And then, scroll all the way down and you can join, of course, the FRAC listserv, which is a critical part in keeping up with all the critical updates, all the breaking news, because this year ahead, we have a lot of things going on. So we need everybody to be ready for that.
That's great. I'm glad you mentioned our weekly update comes out every Friday. And then we also, when there is something major that happens, we sometimes send a midweek update too. So thank you so much for your time today, Salaam, and joining our team. I'm super excited you're here, and I know the network's going to be really excited to work with you.
Well, my time is your time and our time is your time. So
Absolutely.
Please help strengthen SNAP and strengthen all the programs that FRAC is working on.
Thank you so much for all the work that you all do. Take care.